Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with a video for Saturday, it's the 16th December. My screen recording block is right through the date and time, so I can't see it properly. So so that's a great start to the video. I have not started again. So it was a disappointing day on Friday. Started okay, ended tamely. A quarter of the stake returned. So let's get straight into Saturday. If you can give this video a quick like, just for a bit of luck, I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into it. So there are 5 bets in total. 2 bets you're probably not interested in, and the other 3 bets are horse racing bets. The 2 bets they may not be interested in are the over 2.5, over 3.5, and over 4.5 goals treble. And also I should be having a sending off treble, or to be a double and treble. So let me get into the horse racing. So I'm not going to go too much into depth with it because there's quite a bit to get through. So the bets are, the one that you're looking at now are selections that I think have got a cracking chance of actually winning, but I've still had them each way. So what I've done, I've missed out the singles, and I've had 40p each way Yankee and a 60p each way accumulator. It comes to £10. The first selection is, Fulham Civola in the 115 at Cheltenham. And what I do, I personally think this horse could go to the front and could be very hard to catch. Venetia Williams and Stable are absolutely flying, and I think this horse could make them all go. The second selection is So Scottish in the 150 at Cheltenham. Bear in mind, this bet's each way. It's 11-2. The previous horse was 13-2, as you can see on the right-hand side. I have stretched the screen out because so I could get the prices in, because this is currently with Bet365. It may look very odd because I've stretched it out. So anyway, I'm going to talk through it. So Scottish, I think it's got a chance on form. It's not done a great deal this term. But I think whatever Emmett Mullins sends across in these valuable English races, it seems to be taking the money. I think it's a he. I'm not too sure about Emmett. I think it is, yeah. So, that's pretty much the reason why I can't go against it. So it's So Scottish. You'll see in a later bet, I've also picked another horse in the race. That's for more of the each way kind of bet. Although this is an each way bet, this is like a more one horses that I do think could win. The third selection is Heaver Rose in the 1 o'clock at Hereford. Venetia Williams, once again, it's got a cracking chance. I think this could make up all. The only problem is, it's just my luck, she's got 2 other horses in the race. The shorter price one, this is the shortest price one. There's another one about 8-1. I do think that's got a chance, and I don't really fancy her outsider of her 3. However, funny things happen when they've got more than one horse in the race. But this is the horse that I do like in the race. And probably the nap of this bet is One More for the Road in the 12.15 at Doncaster. Basically, I just think this horse is better class than the opposition, and that's basically it. So let me get into. So the next bet is an each way bet, but it's an each way bet with not extra. Well, originally I looked at Sky Bet and I thought I'll have a bet. And then there were some races where there were extra place races and some where they're not. So I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go through all the races on Sky Bet that aren't extra place races. But I actually ended up putting it on Bet365. However, I think the odd race on Bet365 is an extra place race. So basically, these are races where I think there's a horse where it could sneak in the frame. So the first selection, so it's a 10p each way, Lucky 63, which is £12.60, and a 20p each way accumulator. So the first selection is Ruler of the River in the 11.40 at Doncaster. This horse, I thought it ran an absolute crack to say it was keen for quite a big part of the race at Leicester last time, and it also raced. The going was actually heavy that day. For that horse to only weaken just towards the finish when it was pulling keen for a very long way, I think that horse is a lot better than it's shown that day. Doncaster is, I think it's only good to soft at Doncaster. I think this horse has got every chance, and I've seen the first 3 in the betting, and I think 2 of them, all 3 of them, excuse me, have got darts over them. But I think this horse could run above itself or run above its last performance and at least take one of the 3 positions. The next selection is Mersey Street in the 12.25 at Hereford. Similar kind of profile. This horse, I believe, will be picking horses off towards the end. It's John Joe O'Neill, so it's a big, powerful stable. I do believe it could sneak into the frame. The third selection is Pegasus of Harry in the 5.30 at Wolverhampton. The fourth selection is Bailey's Warrior in the 7.30 at Wolverhampton. And finally, a very odd selection. Sorry, it's not finally. Rapallo in the 8 o'clock at Wolverhampton. Done absolutely nothing, but you can't write a horse off by George Bowie, or George Boffey, what you want to call him, rated 45. It's got first-time blinkers and a £7 claimer on board. It's not done a great deal, but it's not ran too far below on a couple of runs below its handicap mark, according to its Racing Post rating, which I do take into consideration when I'm looking for these outsiders. It can highlight horses that are under the radar that aren't running as badly as you may think. So Rapallo, it's got a sneak, although bearing in mind it's done absolutely nothing. And once again, I've included one more for the road in the 12.15 at Doncaster. So that's the Bet 365. Now we're looking at the Sky Bet, and this is basically the my main each way bet, utilising generally extra place races. And as you're well aware, the first race isn't an extra place race. So what I've gone for is a 10 pence each way, looking 63, and a 20 pence each way accumulator. So the first selection is Eagle Prince at 17-2 in the 5/12 at Cheltenham. I backed this horse last time when it was a non-runner. It reappears at the same course and pretty much same conditions. I think there are two horses in this race that want to make the running. One is the second favourite, and another one is, I think it's Balboa. The other fancied horse, which is the favourite, also likes to be up there. I think there could be a good pace in this race, and Eagle Prince could basically pounce late with tiring horses up the hill. May not work out like that, I don't know. But at 17-2, when it's basically on current form, it's not too far away from the favourite. It was only beaten 6 lengths. Well, in that race, Eagle Prince made a mistake at the first fence and a bad mistake at the last. So could that be the difference between 6 lengths? Who knows? I just think 17-2 and I think something like 11-10 for two horses that were only beat with only 6 lengths between them. I'd sooner go for the 17-2 all day. The next selection is Midnight Hour Fred at 12-1 in the 12.40 at Cheltenham, paying 3 places instead of 3. This is an Irish horse where Danny Mullins has come across for one ride. This horse ran a cracker, I think it was last time, when it surpassed any of its recent runs, or most of its lifetime runs, to run a cracker. I think it was over course and distance, definitely over course. I think it was course and distance. I think this horse could run a cracker again. It is a better race, but you could see it picking off horses again late on. The third selection is Railway Hurricane at 18-1 in the 150 at Cheltenham, paying 5 places instead of 3. You can't ignore Gavin Cromwell at Cheltenham. Fact. Especially this season, he's got a ridiculous strike rate so far. As you're well aware, I've also backed So Scottish. I do think this horse, it just can't be ignored at 18-1. It's another horse where it won't be near the front for the vast majority, and hopefully it's ridden to at least try and get a place and some prize money, and hopefully even snatch a win, but who knows. The fourth selection is Protectorat at 7-1 in the 2.25 at Cheltenham. This horse was pretty much the last horse that I looked at in this race. I could give chances to about 4 of them, but none of them were really standing out. I was looking for more and more outsiders. I thought they've got a chance. Then the ground wasn't quite right for those horses. This horse, so last year it had a wind operation and then won. I think it was a Betfair Chase at Haydock, whatever it was. I think it's a Betfair Chase. Won it. Well, don't forget the runs after that. It was then safe till January. Well, this time this horse had another wind operation in this October, and it ran in the Betfair Chase again. But they're saying it flopped. I think it was a very muddling race, and for me, I know it's done it already, but for me, coming off that operation and having a really tough race, and they're actually saying it was running as though something wasn't quite right. Well, I think it was just pestered for the lead against three other very good horses. Brave Man's Game, is it Cobb Rambler and Royal Pagaille. They are. Cobb Rambler is definitely a horse on the up. Brave Man's Game has been at the top of its class for quite a while now. And Royal Pagaille keeps chucking in these huge performances, and normally at A-Dog. So I think you can forgive that run by Protectorate. I think if this horse can get, I know I always say this, but if he can get a relatively easy lead in front, I think it could be very hard to pass. And it's very interesting that they're bringing it out quite so quickly. Well, if there was something wrong with it, it certainly wouldn't be brought out quite so quickly. And normally, well, last time they waited till January after it won the Betfair Chase in, 15th of November last year or 11th of November last year. It ran on the 15th of November this year, and I just think they've noticed something wasn't right, and it was something very simple. It was something daft. Nothing's been reported, so it could even be something like the tongue tie wasn't on right. It could be something serious. But the fact that they're bringing it out in less than a month, I think it's been given the all clear, and it's absolutely bouncing at home. That's my opinion of how it is. And I think after this run, it might just get saved for possibly the festival, the Cheltenham Festival after that. I did like the look of, is it 3 under through 5, 1 under through 3, whatever it is. But for me, I just don't think it wants really soft ground. It's got every chance. So I've gone for Protectorate, and I think 7-1 for the Skeletons is a decent price. The next selection is Yesterday at 14-1 in the 3 o'clock at Cheltenham, paying 4 places instead of 3. I just don't think there's much value at the head of the market. There's a few horses with chances, but I think Yesterday, it's about time John Joe O'Neill got his act together and actually started having regular winners rather than it just seems like he only has he has the odd winner at Uttoxeter. Don't get me wrong, he has winners, he's a decent trainer, but he has the odd winner at Uttoxeter in decentish races. He'll pop up in Cheltenham Festival, a couple of winners a year. I just think he needs to win more. So Yesterday, I think this could pick horses off once again. It's a horse that comes from behind, and hopefully it comes late. And a very interesting selection is Zestful at 14-1 in the 3:35 at Cheltenham, paying 4 places instead of 3. Martin Keeling loves a runner and a winner at Cheltenham. I think this horse has got every chance. I can't see why it's rated 130 because it's been upped in the weights with only running okay. It absolutely loves Cheltenham, and I think this is another horse that, guess what, could pick horses off late on. 14-1. It's the same jockey again, Sean Bowen, and I like the profile of the horse. I think because in the race there's I think is it Stainsby lad, Stainsby girl, Stainsby lady, whatever it is, Stainsby and Coquiloclot like to force the pace. I think they could set it up for something that comes from behind, and they could come to a standstill, going up the hill. As they're turning on the long run, they could be paddling water and or treading water, and Zestful and probably other horses could pick them up later on, and hopefully Zestful give them a decent ride where it can win the race. So as I said, we've got 2 more bets coming up. So football bets, they will be underneath the description by 10 o'clock Saturday morning. So the very best of luck on a video that is 14 minutes long. If you've stayed till the end, type 14 into the comments. So I really appreciate it. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.